What's happening, guys? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. I do apologize for the delay. A little bit of issues on the streaming app, but we are here for it. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's out there having a great day. No sound. Oh no. Are you sure? Can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because I can see it over here. Can you guys hear me out there okay? Hey, hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me out there? Are we good to go? Oh, okay. I was about to say, made me nervous there, Shelly. Made me a little nervous. So what's going on? Sorry for the delay, guys. It's having some technical issues over here, but we are good. Hope everyone had a great Mother's Day yesterday and today. If you guys don't know, it is Mama Bean's birthday today. Happy 21st birthday, Mama Beans! And in honor of Mama Beans, I have her shirt on. Mama Beans, dirty 30. Let's go. Oh, you guys are in the chat. Good, good. I see that. I see that. All right. So, before we get started here, I just want to say I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. This is my first podcast. I will be placing it on Spotify and iHeartRadio as well after the fact, after I do some editing. But I really appreciate you guys for tuning in and just for all the support throughout the past couple months as I've been streaming. I also want to make sure I shout out all the folks that helped me out on behind the scenes, right? So we have the Slotmaster 316, Bubba Picks 316, and of course Bean Slots, mama and daughter duo, right? So I really appreciate you guys, and make sure you guys are following them on all social medias. They have TikTok, they have Facebook, Instagram, and as well as YouTube. All right. So before we get into the good stuff, I did see some questions in the other chat that I'm gonna address real quickly. So someone asked, I did take a screenshot of it, but someone asked, do you think that, I think it was something along the lines, do you think what day or what time of the day do you hit the most? I personally think that it's just random, to be honest with you. I have good, me personally, right? Because I can only talk about myself. Me personally, I think it's random. I mean, different days it's dead, like extremely dead, and other days it's extremely popping. No matter the time. So that's just my personal opinion on it. Again, everyone has their own little jujus. So then the next question they asked is let me see. I think they said, what is the most amount that you lost in one day, and then what's the most amount that you won in one day? So the most that I've personally lost in one day, I want to say it's upwards to about $12,000. The most that I've won in one day, not just on one slot machine, was about 47,000, and I walked out with about 35,000 of it. So and that was actually during COVID. That was the day that they shut down Las Vegas, is when I won that money. I was hitting every machine I sat down. I was just hitting them all. So that was actually the day that they shut Vegas down, and I just ended up leaving. So that was kind of good that they kicked us out, right? Let's go, Shannon, on the subscription. I appreciate you. Welcome. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Guys, again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to my first episode, LMS Podcast. Episode 1, Is It Worth Gambling? Let's go. So, we all know as gamblers and as slot channels and people that just gamble overall, we go to the casino, right? And we wanna win, and we 9 times out of 10 we lose, right? But there are times that we do win. Um, but the losing is more than the winning part, right? So we have to kind of figure out in our minds if is it worth going to the casino every day and losing, right? We have nothing to show for it. We may buy something here, buy something there, or might have a nice little dinner here, a nice little dinner there, but is it really worth gambling? Well, we're going to find out. So I'm going to show you some stats here from 2022, Las Vegas stats for the year of yours truly, of LMS. And then I'm going to show you some stats for some 2023 local, right? And then just give you a little background before we go further. I want to say that as I've been gambling throughout the years, and I've probably been gambling for like 13 years now, I've met a lot of great people. I've been to amazing shows. I've been to Billboard Music Awards. I've been to the finest restaurants. I mean, I've done a lot throughout the past 12 years of gambling. Fights, I've seen, Mayweather fight. I've seen Pacquiao fight. I've been to UFCs. I mean, I've been to a lot. And when you sit there and you look at the end of the day, you're like, man, I just lost $5,000 at the casino. Man, I just lost $1,000. And you think about it, and it's like, what could I have done with that money, right? So I'm looking at some of the comments. So, we have to somehow figure out in our minds how we can make it, the gamblers, right? How we can make it worth our while, right? So as we go through these slides I got, take a sip of my LMS. If you guys don't know, this is the hottest drink on social media right now. We're going to see if it's worth gambling. All right. So here are my 2022 Las Vegas stats on my win and loss statement. Last year I went to Vegas, 17 trips, 35 nights total. My coin in, again, this is just one particular casino. I mean, there's others, but this is one particular casino. My coin in was $898. My coin out, $658,925. I've won on jackpots $207,930 for a grand total of my estimated win loss $49,043. That, to some people it's like, that's nothing. To some other people it's like, wow, that's a lot of money, right? So I'm looking at it and like, dang, do you know what I could have did with $49,000, right? I probably could have just gave it to somebody and they would have been able to do something better than what I did and just lose it at the casino, right? So, that's kind of a hurt piece when you look at your win and loss statements at the end of the year. It's like, wow, what could I have done? I could have possibly put that towards my house, right? My mortgage. Could have bought a new car. Who knows, right? So, where's it at? There it is. So on top of that $49,000, right, we also have expenses, right? Because I still have to pay to go to Vegas, right? It's not all 100% free, as we say. So I drove a couple times, and then for the most part, towards the middle to the end of the year, I started flying, right? So I just did some quick calculations. I live in Arizona, so it's like a 5-hour drive, or a 45-minute flight. So it doesn't really cost that much. So we have $900 in gas, $1,053 in airport parking, right? So I'm basing everything off 35 days, 35 nights, right? Clear, because I do have clear and pre-check for the airports, because I hate waiting in line. So that's $190 a year. And then we have cage fees, right? ATM fees. So we're looking at $2,625, and then tax, tips, and retail, because of course you got to tip in Vegas. You go out to dinner, you have to tip, even though the casino might be paying for it, or massages and things like that. So you still have to tip, right? So that's $3,570 for a grand total of $9,908. So we're looking at almost already in the hole for what, 60,000 for 2022 in Las Vegas, right? So we're at about 60,000, give or take a couple dollars. So now it's like, wow, now I'm at 60,000. What could I have done with that $60,000? I gambled it, right? But I want to show you, look at this. I'm going to show you what the casino gave me, though, right? So in comps in 2022, and when I say comps, we're looking at rooms, we're looking at shows, we're looking at limos around town. I mean, we're looking at the finest restaurants, looking at massages. Y'all know that I go and get, a spa day every time I go to Vegas. So the comps. The casino's giving me $31,480 in comps for the whole year. And then when I was driving, right, valet, you have to pay for valet, but because I'm platinum, I don't pay for it. But that comes out to about $490, right, that I didn't have to pay for. Bar drinks. So you guys know, I go to Vegas. I don't pay for drinks, right? And they're not even comp drinks. They're just drinks that I go to the bar, and I'm like, hey, let me get a drink. They know what it is. It doesn't come off my comps or nothing. It's just straight drinks. So I averaged it at, I think it was like 4 or 5 drinks a night at $18 a drink. And that's what it came out to for the 35 nights. Now, you guys also do know that there's times that I do go to Vegas and it's like me and my wife, or it's a couple people out there and we're all drinking, and even rooms, right? Like I get 2-3 rooms at a time, so at the end of the day, these are just average numbers that I've been averaging. So then we're going to go into free play, right? $24,455 the casino gave me last year to go to Vegas. $24,000, right? I think that's pretty decent, right? And then you got your points play, 3,500. That's an average out of per night. So that's an average of $100 a night, right? So the casino perks average $63,705, right? I think that's not too shabby, in my personal opinion. I mean, given the fact that, like I said, I've gone to so many different shows and restaurants, met so many different people, had so many different memories, right? I think that's kind of okay. So here we go. Here's the breakdown. 2022 Vegas, estimated win-loss, $49,043. Expenses, $9,908. Casino perks at $63,705. So, I'm kind of up at this point by $4,754. In my opinion, I mean, I've been to Vegas, like I said, and I've met great people and done all these wonderful things. If I were going to pay for them myself, I mean, it says like me paying for a trip, right? And I was still able to gamble. I was still able to stream. I was still able to, show what I do in Vegas. Keep up my social medias, things of that nature. So, now, that's 2022 in Las Vegas. Now we're going to get into 2023 in Arizona. Watch your eyes on this one, guys. From January to May, current, my coin in Las Vegas is $1,040,000, or $1,040,810. 1 million coin in 5 months. That's insane. That is completely insane. That's almost the same as all year in Vegas, right? My coin out, 961,699. Right? So that's the coin that they gave me, right? Now that's including jackpots. So over in Vegas last year, I think I had about like 207,000 in like jackpots. I don't have it listed here, but the stats that I was looking at, I'm about 200,000 for the Arizona casinos too, maybe a little bit more. So this is 5 months. So my estimated win-loss statement right now in Arizona is $79,111. That is almost, little 20 more thousand. That would have been double what I did all year last year in Vegas, right? I don't know. So I also have expenses though, right? Of course I have expenses. We all have expenses. We got our drinks, minus $700. Cage fees, ATM, $500. Tax, tip, retail, $400, right? So we're at, $1,600 just in, expenses that I would have to pay for. I really don't eat much over there or go to restaurants or things like that. So that's why the taxes and tips and all that is kind of, lower than Las Vegas. Now let's see what Arizona has given LMS in 2023. Well, they've comped me $8,300 in 5 months. That is what they've comped me, and let me see where, and I can even name everywhere I've gone. I stayed at the hotel 3 or 4 times. I've been to the basketball game, courtside seats. I've been in the suite. I've been in the suite for the basketball game. I've been to a hockey game, and I've been to 2 baseball games. $8,300. Now, I do get drinks there, and I'm talking about all the casinos in Arizona. I'm not just talking about one particular casino. This is based on all the casinos here, right? So bar drinks, right? So you get, because I'm a platinum player and at both casinos, I get like drink tickets, right? So those drink tickets average out to about $780 for the 5 months. Free play, $2,110. Wow. On that coin in, and that coin in was definitely higher than Vegas. 100% higher than Vegas, right? Points play about 450. So the casino's giving me about $11,640 here in Arizona. So 5 months. Here it is. Estimated win-loss $79,111. Expenses $1,600. Casino perks $11,640. So I am down in the Arizona casinos $69,071. So I think you guys know where I'm going to be getting at after this, but that's a lot. That's a lot for not getting the casino perks or the comps or things of that nature, right? For the amount of money that you spend. There you go. I just saw it in the comment. We're going to get there. So here it is, guys. 2022 Las Vegas, 2023 Arizona. There's the breakdown. Your estimated win-loss, $49,043. Estimated here in Arizona, $79,111. Expenses, I got $9,900 over in Vegas, $1,600 over here in Arizona. Casino perks, $63,000 in Vegas, $11,000 in Arizona. I spent more in Arizona, I get more in Vegas, right? So I'm up in Vegas, $4,700, down in Arizona, $69,000. I think we kind of understand how the casino works, right? But the question is the real question, is the question, is it worth gambling? Or is the question, where is it worth gambling, right? Me personally, we just went through the stats. We went through live stats. I literally just gave you all of my live stats from 2022 to now. We can see Vegas is where to be, right? Vegas is where it's at. In my eyes, that's what I see. I think that also it depends on, of course, Vegas is Vegas. We all know that, right? They're built off gambling. They're built off the people that are coming in. But the casinos here in Arizona, they're tribal casinos, etc. So you're not gonna get as much. However, I am very disappointed in the amount that these casinos give in Arizona. I'm not for certain how it is in like other states, and because I don't really travel too much besides like Vegas casinos. So I'm not really sure how it is in other states. If your casinos might do more, local casinos, I don't know. I'm only going off of what I know and what I've experienced. And, I personally think that it is worth gambling in certain states. And I would say at this point would be Vegas, because, as you saw, the perks. But not only that, you're gambling, you're having fun, you're making memories, right? You're experiencing things that you wouldn't experience normally. So it's just like you paying for it, right? But you're having fun at the same time. So, with that being said, more than likely, you guys will see me more so in Vegas than you will see me here in Arizona. The only reason why I don't really go to Vegas as much as I did last year is because they are still working on the streaming portion. So that should be here coming up soon, should be almost done. It's not like a me personal thing. It is, they are not allowing streamers. They're not allowing streamers in their casinos right now. So that should be coming up here. They should be having it fixed here soon. So that's, hopefully. And I will be traveling out to Vegas a lot more often once they allow that streaming portion. All right, so in the meantime, you guys make sure that you go follow the Casino Crew on Facebook, right? You got Bubba Picks 316, the Slot Master 316, and Bean Slots. Make sure you follow all those individual pages, but there is also a Casino Crew Facebook page with everyone's information on it, so please make sure you guys go check that out. Again, happy birthday to Mama Beans. It is her 21st birthday. And by the way, as soon as this podcast is over, Mama Beans and Baby Beans will be going live on YouTube for some birthday shenanigans. And make sure, Mama Beans, you get an LMS, okay? Cheers. I'll drink it for you. All right, so I'm going to open it up for a couple questions. We got a few minutes here. So let's go ahead and open it up for a few questions. Yes. Happy birthday, Mama Beans. I'm just getting in the chat here. Let me look and see what we got here. Let me see. Let's look at these questions. Have you calculated how much you're getting from streaming into your numbers? No, I didn't. I have not. I'm not a big shot, you know what I'm saying? So those numbers really don't need to be actually calculated, but I will probably calculate them at the end of the year on that aspect. And just as a disclaimer, because I feel the need that I need to say this, those numbers that I just showed you are my real numbers, and that is my money that I gamble with. So I just wanted to put that out there. So they are the real numbers, and that is my money that I'm gambling with. So Bean's going to finish up dinner, then they're going to go live after. Awesome. Make sure you guys tune in and see Bean Slots, Mama and Dada duo. Yeah, she better chug a drink. What type? Let me see. That is true. How often do you think you'll be in Vegas this year? I don't know. It depends. They have to start the streaming. They have to allow me to stream. That's one major aspect of what I do. But I mean, I can definitely go to other casinos as well out there in Las Vegas. But I kind of like to stick with what I like. I appreciate that, Lynn. Thank you so much. Do you find if people have good self-control, they might be able to get ahead and not lose much? So that's a good point, good question that you put out there. So at the end of the day, gamblers, I can't say that. I know individuals. How about this? I know individuals that have self-control, and I know individuals that do not have self-control. I do know that, when I get to drinking every now and then, I get reckless. You guys know that. You see me gamble. And I've actually turned in from reckless to ludicrous. So, yeah, some people have self-control and some people don't. I mean, I've known people that are homeless now because of gambling, right? So it's very dangerous. It is very, very, very dangerous. Can you file losses in your taxes? Well, of course I can. I can and I will. Yes. All right. All right. Well, I'm not gonna hold you guys up any longer. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I just want to show my stats, show a little bit. Again, I welcome and thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. My first podcast, never never done it before. It's a little different than being live, like regular, live streaming. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be having some more coming up, maybe some duos, some special guests, things of that nature. So please, but don't forget, I need you guys to go follow my Facebook, go follow my Instagram. I just opened up a Spotify and iHeartRadio account as well, which I'll be having the podcast over there. But please go follow all my social medias. Everything is at LauraMilesSlots.com. There's all the information there. When I'm going to be live streaming, I will be in Vegas, June 10th to June 13th. So I will be in Las Vegas. So that's already set up. And then I'll be back in Las Vegas in July 13th to the 17th. So please make sure you tune in. Check my webpage, LauraMilesSlots.com. It'll let you know when I'm going to be live, where I'm going to be live, etc. And follow all my other social medias. I really would really, really, really appreciate it. Well, that's going to be the end of this podcast, guys. Is it worth gambling? Episode 1 is done. Newman, check you out, Newman. Appreciate you. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Make sure you tune in to Bean Slots right after this for some slot pay. Happy birthday again, Mama Beans. It's her 21st birthday. Finally, she can have an LMS drink. And make sure you guys go follow Slotmaster, the Slotmaster 316, the Bubba Picks 316, and Bean Slots.